Hello, Resurrection. It's April the 1st, April Fool's Day, and it is also Wednesday in Holy Week, and I am not fooling. It's Bulletin Printing Central here at the church office. You have never seen so many bulletins in your life. Last Sunday was fantastic. I had such a good time in church with y'all, and I think that yesterday was a record attendance for a regular Sunday. Now I know you're thinking, well, Palm Sunday's not a regular Sunday, and you're kind of right. But but it wasn't Easter, it wasn't Christmas, it's not one of the it's not one of the big seven principal feasts. I count it as a Sunday. We had I don't know, 40 or 50 people more in church this year on Palm Sunday than we did last year. We had 170 people all together. And that's a lot of people for resurrection. Tickled me to death. I hope you saw the new wooden cross that Chris Teal has made for the parish. We've been using an old rugged cross on Good Friday for a long time now. It's probably time to retire that one. And when I mentioned that to Chris, he took it on as his Lenten discipline to make a wooden cross for Good Friday. We always process a wooden cross into the church, and man, it is beautiful. It's going to take probably four of us to get the cross in, which is how I wanted it. The cross was heavy, and I like the symbolism of that cross. It's life sized, and I want us to know the burden of that heavy cross when we bring it into church, to see the size of it and the starkness of it. It is so beautiful, and I'm so proud of it. And Chris, we all thank you for that. The whole parish does. We've got some very talented, generous folks in this parish. So back to church growth. The diocese last week put out some graph. I love a graph, right? I love to crunch attendance numbers and things like that. Not so much money numbers, but attendance numbers. And I don't. I just want to sit here and brag on you for a little bit that our parish has grown. I think they did 12 or 13 years of history analyzing church growth in every parish in the diocese. And over the last 13 years, our parish is up more than 70%. It's the fastest growing parish in the diocese. I would say one of the fastest growing parishes percentage wise in the South. Maybe we've in the last 10 years, since we all came together and replanted the church, we're up closer to 150, 175%. We have almost doubled twice since we started 10 years ago. There are not many Episcopal churches that can say that right now, especially Episcopal churches that are the size that we are. I mean, it's easier to double twice if you've got 5 people in church than if you've got close to 200. I got to thinking today. There is a saying. There's a goal, an obstacle, maybe, if you want to call it that church growth experts talk about all the time, and it's called the 200 barrier. That churches very often will grow to about 200, and then things become different in the parish. And what usually becomes different is about the leadership, right? The priest normally has to start being a little bit of a different kind of priest to grow the church past that 200 barrier. And I got to thinking today that we are approaching that 200 barrier. It is not a place I ever thought I would be in my career. I go to small churches, and we do grow those churches, but I've never been in one that's grown this much. It's a lot, y'all. And I'm going to put a theory into place. Now, there are certain things I do need to change about my leadership style. I need to be better at delegating things. I need to be better with empowering folks who are good at things to do those things, right? I very often kind of do things myself because I'm used to that. I've always had to do it that way, and I love it. I don't mind it at all. but I probably need to be careful about that. I probably do need to work on that to help move us to the next place. But the theory that I'm going to put into place is that resurrection is not going to become different from what it is now as we continue to grow. I think that resurrection is going to be able very effectively to hang on to the thing that we love the most, no matter how large we are. And that is the fact that we are a relational church, that you come back to resurrection because of the relationships that you have made. Now, we're teaching some good classes. We got some dynamite best music I've ever heard in a church this size. I better than a lot of churches, a lot bigger, as a matter of fact, not to toot our own horn, so to speak. But but I think that we are very effectively going to be able to hang on to the field that we have now, even as we continue to grow up to and past that 200 barrier. Eventually, we're going to be able to and going to have to talk about some things like getting some more seats in the church. And by the way, I think we can probably add close to 100 seats in the church without ever changing the floor plan, right? We're not going to have to knock walls down to be able to get more people in church. We may have to get rid of some of that huge altar platform, but we got too much of it anyway. And you know, the vestry and I are talking about that. We've got all kinds of things rolling around in there. Y'all, I think our music program is behind some of this growth that we're seeing, and I've been saying that for 10 years that was going to happen when we were able to take a step with the music program, which the Davis organ really did help us to do that, to move into a different category. That we were going to see some real growth. The Christian ed that we've got going on for adults and kids is, I think, responsible for some of the growth. But primarily, I think it's because of who y'all are is why we're growing. You can tell that we love each other when you walk in the door, and people want to come back and be part of that. It's why I never want to go anywhere else, because I love it where I am, and I think you love it where you are. I hope that you love it where you are. But we're causing some folks to talk at Resurrection. I know that we were the topic of conversation in a big diocesan meeting not too long ago, and I just want to congratulate you on that, brag on you a little bit, tell you you're doing a good job, and then remind you that it is not because of me that we have grown, and it is not because of you that we have grown, and it's not because of Mark Ring, the music director, and it's not because of Elizabeth Nash, who's behind all of that great Christian ed, or anybody else, that it is because of God Almighty that we have grown. And we'll continue to tell people that. We'll continue to tell people what the Lord has done for us, and we will continue to thank Him for what He's done for us. And who knows? Who knows about the blessings of God? But I'm praying that He will continue to open up the windows of the storehouses of heaven, and those blessings will continue to fall on us. And telling our story is what that's all about, telling people what the Lord has done for us. Now, let's get back to Holy Week. That's what Holy Week is too. Holy Week is us reenacting the story, not only so that others will know the story, but that we will be reminded every year of what it is that our Lord has done for us. It will be so ingrained in our minds and in our genetic memory that we will tell our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, and they will tell theirs. We will continue to do it. We will continue to tell the story. We will continue to reenact what it is that Jesus has done for us until He comes again, because that's what He told us to do. And when He comes again, we can then sit back and rest in His eternal home with Him. We won't have to do it anymore. But until He comes, we have work to do. And Holy Week is hard work. I know that you all have day jobs, but this week is important. This week is what He asked us to do. This week is what He asked us to tell the world, and we will get together and we will tell each other and we'll tell the rest of the world. So don't shortchange yourself this year for Holy Week. Come and be part of the crowd that jeered at him at the cross that day, and be part of the crowd that was waiting in the garden with him that night, and be part of the crowd that saw him step out of the tomb on Easter morning, and then tell the world what it is that he's done for us. I love you. I'm so looking forward to Easter with you this year, and to the darkness beforehand too, which is so very important to the joy of Easter morning. I love you. I am proud of you, and let's keep going.